I might be able to be saved, but it kind of hurts so much that it's just like put me out of my misery.
The Dynasty has been cemented.
I'm gonna say too, I didn't know if I could talk about that.
They are the greatest roster in Call of Duty history.
Yeah, there was just a lot of pressure to be in the position I was in, and I couldn't mentally handle it anymore.
Optic Gaming are officially Call of Duty champions.
I don't really know where to start, but we'll start somewhere. I guess at the beginning of everything.
For a moment, Optic Gaming is just having fun at this point.
That's what you need, man. You want to come into your game one hyped up. I mean, they didn't just win game number one, they straight crushed them by 73 points.
By 2014, Optic Gaming had gone from a team of scrappy players that could compete with the upper levels to a squad that all other teams were looking to beat. Founded as a spin-off team run by Nadeshot, the acquisition of Scump, Proofy, and the recent addition of Clayster, it seemed as if there was nowhere for this team to go but up.
Optic Gaming in full control.
Gotta give Optic Gaming the credit there. I mean, like, they were relentless.
Welcome to Optic Gaming.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Scumpy! Oh, he has just lit up the main stage!
It does not get any better than this.
Wow, that was so huge there.
I want to give a shout out to all three of my teammates because I didn't want to do it with anybody else.
What is up, you guys? This is Clayster. This one is actually going to be a vlog, just talking about my release from Optic Gaming.
A lot of people are saying that I've ruined Optic Gaming.
Basically, they told me I was off the team. They wouldn't tell me who or why. They just said they wanted to change.
I'll take responsibility for Optic Gaming and not having those players on the rosters anymore.
Nate usually makes all the decisions on the team. Like, if he wants something to happen, it's going to happen.
I know some people may think that I'm the reason that we're not winning.
They made a business decision. This is a business that we do.
Bash me, whatever you guys want to do.
You guys think it's just gaming, it's friendships, it's loyalty. It's none of that.
I'm sorry that the roster isn't what you guys might want it to be, but I promise.
Following only a few middle-of-the-road results, Proofy and Clayster were out. And in their place, Optic added two legends to the game with Formal and Crimsix. While getting dropped in any circumstances is never good, there was also a history between Crimsix and Clayster that made the drop sting more than usual. Optic Gaming now had two of the top players in the game, and it could be said they had three of the top four that were available at the time. Expectations were high for the following season, and with a roster this strong, many believed only a world championship would do.
We have one hell of a match in front of us.
So excited for this one. It's the first time we really get to see Optic Gaming really play. Like, 3 out of the 4 players are in your top 5 players. I know Optic, they don't want to say that yet, but you have to say it.
I can't wait to get this one started.
Head forward, we're gonna see it. He's gonna get it.
Oh, he gets it. Absolutely insane. Formal clutching up the 1v2. They're killing anything in their fight. Scumpy.
That was a big statement game there out of Optic Gaming.
Optic Gaming with 3 straight in full control. With Crim, Formal, and Scump on the same squad, you know we're going to see some highlights.
Dip gets out the window. Dip, dive. Can he now dunk it as well? They jump with the run. Oh my goodness.
A serious statement. I couldn't be more proud of them, and it just feels good to finally get a win when we made a roster change.
After bringing their new roster to the main stage, Optic Gaming had taken home first place in Orlando and made it clear that they were now the team to beat along the way. In the championship qualifiers that followed, despite only needing to finish in the top 14 to advance, Optic Gaming would chase their last win with a second place finish in the US Finals, setting them up well for a high seed in the North American regional qualifiers. While Optic Gaming was certainly expected to qualify for finals, an impressive 6-0 record, while only losing a single map across their perfect tournament streak, would see them at the very top ranks at the end of the tournament. Optic Gaming hadn't just qualified for Worlds, they had made it clear that they were the favorite to win. Now all they had to do was prove it.
This tournament means a lot to Optic, simply because it has been a very, very long time since we've been able to call ourselves the most dominated team in Call of Duty.
and we are going to have some fantastic matches. 32 of the world's top teams. The 2015 Call of Duty Championships. I love it.
After drawing Denial Esports in the first round, Optic would soon be haunted by a ghost from their very recent past.
Blazer is not slowing down. He has been dominant.
Despite being labeled as the #1 seed going into the tournament, their momentum would come to a screeching halt after only their first match. While they would cling to a spark of hope in the losers bracket, another upset would see them claiming their worst finish of the year, securing 8th place in the tournament.
Upset after upset after upset. No one expected that Optic Gaming would have such a rough road.
While they would have already packed their bags and arrived home by the time it happened, it was Denial that would go on to win the World Championship, with Clayster, of all people, being awarded MVP honors. Disappointing as this loss would be, it was unfortunately just a prelude to another devastating blow on the way.
If you guys asked me 2 months ago if I was going to be making a video like this, I would have told you were absolutely crazy. Things change, people change, situations change, so I'm going to cut straight to the chase. We've won 3 out of the past 5 events that we've competed at as a team. And I'm very capable and very confident in the fact that I think we can still win with me as the captain and me on the team. But I felt like, in a sense, I was somewhat holding my team back. I am going to be taking a break from competitive Call of Duty. Hope you guys can respect this decision, and I hope you guys understand why I made this decision. And I just hope that you guys stick around, because I still think the best is yet to come. You guys have helped me make a living out of what I love to do, and I think I'll revisit it at some point. But until then, I'm just gonna have some fun and do whatever this world takes me. Yeah. So have a wonderful day, and you too. We'll see you fudging later.
Nadeshot was out, and in his place, Optic Gaming brought in another legend in the form of Damon Karma Barlow. An accomplished player in his own right, Karma would bring the skill and experience of 2 previous world championships, which now left only 2 players on the team that hadn't taken home a global win. With the existing roster now representing multiple championship wins in the past, the only question for the following season was whether or not Optic Gaming could collectively claim their first. While Karma wouldn't join the team right away due to visa complications, Optic would start Stage 2 of 2015 strong by not only winning the EWC Championship, but by avenging their recent loss to Denial from Worlds along the way. Immediately after, Optic would continue their show of strength by taking home the top spot in the International Gfinity tournament, and not content to let 2 wins in a row do the talking for them, Optic would let everyone know they were clearly back on top with their full roster as they stormed through UMG Orlando, taking down the same FaZe Clan team that had knocked them out of the losers bracket just 5 months previous. Optic would then go on to beat FaZe once more at the next major tournament, taking home X Games gold to all but guarantee they had enough placement points to make another run at Worlds. If any questions remained about how this roster would perform, it's fair to say that the doubters were given a clear and definitive answer. Though FaZe had thus far struggled to fight back against Optic's dominance, they too had their sights set on the top. And as fate would have it, a recent free agency would be just the answer they were looking for.
This team change absolutely paying off for FaZe.
You know, and able to sound the halfway. Oh, Clayster, the headshot on Formal. FaZe are going to take the UMG Dallas Grand Final 3-0.
I can't remember the last time I've ever said that.
But it's such a rivalry. Pick up COD Champs MVP.
Pretty good pickup.
That's going to really knock Optic Gaming back a little bit.
FaZe Clan only dropping 2 maps throughout the entire weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion.
He's the hungriest player in the world.
To be honest, Clay was a huge part of our win.
2 back-to-back championships. You know, what's next for you guys?
How about 3? Does that sound good?
Optic Gaming would avoid its 3rd major tournament loss in a row by coming alive when it mattered most and delivering a crushing victory at UMG Washington. Unfortunately, this success would also be followed with another loss to a Clayster-led FaZe team in the Stage 3 playoffs, and then answered once more with an Optic victory to close the 2015 season with a win in the MLG Finals. Of the 14 major tournaments entered in 2015, Optic Gaming had won 9, and they had made it to the podium finals in all but 1, with their one absence from the championship hunt being their tragic 8th place finish at Worlds. Having the narrative surrounding such an incredible season being fixated on notable losses and struggles seems almost a cosmic injustice. But despite the detractors poking away online, Optic's fans in the green wall and the industry pros looking at their incredible feats didn't hesitate to showcase their accomplishments.
The Game Award goes to Optic Gaming.
Despite their heartbreaking performances, Optic's roster looked as strong as it had ever been. And with the transition into Black Ops 3, there were now just two looming questions that remained. First, how would Optic adapt to the changing meta? And two, perhaps more importantly, whether or not this expensive all-star roster would finally shake the growing whispers of whether or not they could bring home a world championship. As the 2016 season began to loom on the horizon, Optic Gaming needed to make a statement, and the world stage was the only place where anyone was listening.
Going to Envy, you know, we were really confident.
They take him out, but Scump ready, and there's the final point. Optic taking game one.
We won the hard point.
And he just throws it over. Is there a lucky bounce? It's not there, and Envy takes the uplink. 2-1 advantage now over Optic Gaming. Well, here's the hunt. The Piranhas looking for their prey. Find one, but everybody cut down. It is done. Envious has taken it 3-1 over Optic Gaming in the first round here.
You could see it in their eyes just how defeated they really felt.
Both maps were like neck and neck, and then I was in a situation where literally if I just stayed alive and didn't back up or didn't go forward, then we win.
Today is a different day. Today, we start anew. First place is what we need to get, boys. We are number one team. We are a number one team. And I, for one, cannot accept anything else. I need Karma to get his third ring. I need Scump to finally win one. I need Crimsix to continue his legacy and Formal to get his first COD XP champion. We just need it badly.
In the first round of the losers bracket, Optic played the match they wished they could have had one round ago, walking away with a 3-1 victory over Infused. From there, Optic Gaming would continue to keep their hopes alive with another dominant display over Luminosity, logging a 3-0 victory befitting their reputation as favorites to win. With a finish in the top 8 now secured, Optic would now have to take on C9, who was looking to take the role of dark horse in the tournament.
Optic Gaming now just 1 round away from eliminating C9 and moving further into this tournament. Last time it went to round 11. We may or may not see the same thing again.
Round 11, no more mistakes can be made.
At the top, bomb player is going to die. Crimsix is going to fall as well. 2v4, Karma and Formal. You have your work cut out for you. 30 seconds. That bomb is down.
It's one of those moments that sucks the air out of you. You know, you're like, you're still in the tournament, then it comes down to a round 11, and it comes down to a 1v1.
Second player coming, challenge over top. Formal's going to be able to help him out. Karma going for the kill. Formal up to you. 1v1 situation is all coming over. And a full 1v1. Optic Gaming, we will see you fudging later.
This one really hurt. You're the favorite to win 2 years in a row, and I don't want to say that we're cursed, but man, does it feel that way. Favorites to win 2 years in a row. What sucks is that I kind of feel used to it, and that's never good.
Third place in the 2014 championships, 7th place in 2015, and now 7th place once again in 2016. In the same span of time, Optic had emerged on top in 14 major tournaments. They had managed to represent Optic on the podium as runner-up in 7 more. During the reign of Optic's most impressive dynasty to date, there was a 50-50 chance they were ending any given weekend as the overall winners. And yet, their inability to win a world championship seemed to be all anyone was talking about. With 4 of the most highly valued players in the league and growing frustrations of stumbling on the final hurdle added up, everyone was convinced that a change would have to be made. That is until a voice from within the team came out to silence the rumor mill once more. Collectively deciding to reset their sights for one more run at the top, everyone, including the team itself, knew this was likely their last chance if they wanted to do it together. And with the 2017 season ahead offering the conflicting fates of ultimate redemption or eternal disappointment, Optic took the first steps on the road of what would be their last chance. To start the 2017 season, Optic Gaming would set the tone for everything that would come after. Unfortunately, it wasn't exactly the tone they were hoping for. Though they would stumble out of the blocks in their debut in Atlanta, Optic would show signs of life and claw their way back to the top of the podium in Paris. Bolstered by their first tournament win in 6 months, Optic would ride the momentum by eliminating a trio of strong teams, including their longtime rivals in FaZe Clan. With Optic looking like they had returned to form, excitement began to build that Optic would have enough points to secure a shot at Worlds. And while Optic would indeed count themselves among the teams eligible to compete at the next level, they would only crawl across the finish line towards the end of the season, slipping from the top spot to 4th in the Stage 1 playoffs and the all-too-familiar 7th place finish in the Anaheim Open. Falling to a team in the losers bracket that had failed to secure a major tournament win all season did little to inspire confidence for Optic going into the Stage 2 playoffs. It was on this final run-up to the 2017 World Championships that Optic would find themselves in familiar territory, facing a team that they had battled many times before, but revitalized by the addition of a new weapon they hadn't accounted for. Optic would ultimately find a way to break through the perpetual wall that Clayster had grown fond of building in front of them on their way to securing a Stage 2 victory. But there were still many questions that remained as they hoisted their trophy. There was no doubt they were skilled. There was little room for argument that they were actually among the best. But over the last 3 years, this unquestionable super team still had one thing missing. And as they stepped on the world stage to do battle together for the last time, there was only one remaining question that needed to be answered. No one needed to know if Optic could win. Everyone needed to know if Optic could win when it mattered most. After crushing their opponents in the group stages, Optic would helm a steamroller in the first round against Mindfreak in what was perhaps their most commanding win in all of 2017.
It was a Friday match versus Mindfreak Black. Like, if we made it to Sunday, if that's how the turnout was Friday, it was going to be insane. And it was.
But as the saying goes, comfort breeds weakness. And Optic's casual path into the second round would see them face a strong team looking to pull them from the throne.
And the European superstars have come to play. Optic's woes continue. That will do it.
With the series tied at 2-all, Optic would have to find a path to victory against a scrappy team with nothing to lose.
There's a challenge from Formal. Zero now dead. It's all on Jerd. The Irishman down.
This FaZe match was stressful. I honestly didn't think we were going to win in any other fashion.
Just barely escaping what was likely their closest match all year, the Green Wall breathed a sigh of relief as Optic would deliver a decisive victory against their rivals in FaZe Clan.
Done for Optic Gaming, a 4-point lead. We're looking at a 3-0.
With that win, Optic could do no worse than 4th place. Already an improvement on the 2 years previous, but improvement wouldn't silence the doubters. And in the 4th round of the tournament, Team Envious had some questions of their own.
Put your hands together, it's time for game number 1. Envy have wiped Optic Gaming off the map.
This is a showing of force from Team Envious.
Envy gets the job done in search. That kill should seal the deal. Envy takes the lead in our best of 5.
Every time. Every fucking time, dude.
Envy, 10 points away. Count it down, ladies and gentlemen. One more fight. 2, 1, it's done!
The flawless run was halted in its tracks, and in a single moment, they had gone from leading the pack to fighting for their lives in the losers bracket. The path to a championship now meant that not only would they have to beat the team they had just lost to reset the bracket, but then beat them again in order to win it all. But before they could even think about setting their sights on the championship, they first had to face off against a monster in Luminosity Gaming, a team that had been knocked into the losers bracket early by the powerhouse E United and gone on an absolute tear in the lower bracket, sending 5 other teams home early in the process. The stakes were simple: win and stay alive for a chance at redemption, lose and go home empty-handed for a 3rd year in a row.
Let's see how you do under pressure.
OG, here we go.
There'll be Optic Gaming scoring some points here at the beginning. They use their strength in terms of slaying to clear this area of the map out. They now have control of Graveyard. 2 big kills.
They get hyped, but as I I say that, Formal 17-7 on a 6 streak. He's fully streaked out. Prim's the lone guy in a 1v1 and he wins it for his team. All right, never mind. It's all karma right now, man. He's winning every 1v1 he sees in front of him. Scump picks up 2. He has been making plays all game long, looking to blow open the doors. Is it Optic? They've taken game 1.
Despite their stumble against Envious, Optic seem to have maintained their momentum in the losers bracket, taking the first match against Luminosity by one of the widest margins of any match in the tournament. All they needed to do now was find a way to grab 2 more.
All right, round 1 here, game 2. It'll be Karma as your bomb carrier here in our first round as he's inching up the lower street.
It's a coordinated 4-man retake. It'll be Crim able to take out Classic there at the beginning. Slides around the corner. Looking good for Optic to take round number 1.
Free fires the door, but he melts immediately.
Spotted Octane. Crim with the 1v1 clutch.
Inching forward, Formal spotted him. If you know that you know. Another round here for Optic Gaming. Octane's going high up the wall run. Spots him. Put it out in the 4-1 lead. One, Jesus, his shot looks good right now. And it's on Classic, not enough time. Optic Gaming gets their 5th round. 1 versus 3 for Octane. 50 seconds on the clock. Didn't spot him outside, gets time. And that is it. Optic take game 2.
And just like that, Optic was on the verge of a second chance.
Grab drill, and that'll be 3 kills. Here's going to be a point.
Now the dish is going to come in. There's a dunk. 3-0 Optic Gaming.
Back of the base, it's going to bounce off the wall. Karma gets a 2-point play.
Scump looking to dish out the window. Doesn't want 1. He wants 2. 7-2. Optic Gaming. So much pressure on them to perform.
The only thing that matters is getting 3 maps twice, okay?
Yeah, make a statement, bro. Just 3-0, 3-0, and just get up and walk away.
We're on an even playing field now, play our game, and we'll go beat them.
We get through this, first series, bro, we are 3-0ing them the next series, too. Yeah. Just get through this first series, map by map together, bro. When we play together, literally nobody touches us. You guys have seen that. We know that. It's ours, bro. Nobody deserves a shit more than us. Straight up. Think about the whole year, bro. No one deserves a shit more than us.
So far, holding a narrow lead. Crimsix going big off plat. He rotates back through curve. He'll finish it up. And Optic in complete control of Hotel right now. 2 for Scump. 3rd out on plat. Crimsix picks up Slasher. Formal is going to find his 4th in a row. A way to go to pick up any of those key aerial streaks. But let's see if he can wrap from behind. There's the first. 2nd finish up by Scump. Indeed, still holding on, but trailing massively.
They want to push for this one right here. They get the kills. They'll get the win.
Optic would falter in the following Search and Destroy to drop round 2 before handing Envious their first uplink loss of the tournament in round 3. Now up 2-1, Optic needed a single win to give them a chance at the championship they were after.
Scump and Crimsix seem up to the task for now, as they'll find the opening 2 picks and get into the hard point. Doubling up their opponents right now, though, is Optic Gaming. Right when you thought we might see a lead change for the boys in blue. It's the green wall coming on through. Envy down 30, trying to mount an incredible comeback here on Scorch. He's behind, 2 kills to Envy, but Scump and Formal there to trade it out. Karma, Scump, Formal, they clear house. Series 1 goes to Optic Gaming.
Optic had won the first series and proved they had what it takes to become what everyone hoped they could be. But with the weight of their legacy hanging on the rematch, Optic was battling against far more than just a good team.
For the obvious elephant in the room that we haven't won a Call of Duty championship. We think that we're the best team, which is why we've stuck together even after those disappointing finishes.
I'm not someone to go from team to team just because we lose or something like that.
I don't even know how many tournaments we won together, honestly.
I want to, give people what they want, but it's never enough.
Because we haven't won those 2, it's like those don't even count.
One of the hardest things for me is when people say you don't do enough.
With this team, I won 26, 27 tournaments.
Until we win Call of Duty champs, we're not going to be considered the greatest Call of Duty team ever. When the big one comes and you don't win it, then what is the other tournaments? Like, what do those mean?
Optic find the open lane. They connect with the first point. Optic, they have to defend their base. They're 7 minutes from a title.
It's so back and forth. It's so heavily contested. All tied up at 2-2. They know what's on the line. 8 seconds left as we get to the second half, but Crim wants the lead. Crim wrapping the edge. Is the dunk there? It's through.
Optic was up 2-0 after their first 2 matches, and found themselves up by a single possession at halftime of what could be their final round. And as they settled in to finish the job they had started over 3 years ago, everyone waited anxiously to know if the time had finally arrived. To see if they could watch one of the best officially become the GOAT. To see if the king would get his ring. To see if championship legacies would have a happy ending. Rarely in this world do we get to see such amazing things, and yet we would see all of that and more in just 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes away from taking this.
We would see humans fly.
Formal doing it all for Optic Gaming. Like a bird out of the sky. How high was he to grab that pig?
We would see challengers overwhelm champions.
5 minutes down to just 3 minutes now. Karma on the challenge, gets the kill. And he's looking for more as Envy come off the spawn. From 3 minutes down to 2 minutes. Optic closing in on the title.
We would see invisibility cast a spotlight.
The camo still up, has to take the 1-point toss, but that's big. Makes it a 2-possession game.
And see that there are no curses that can't be broken.
Down to 60 seconds. All the kills in favor of Optic Gaming. 45 seconds away. Scump hunting for that first ring, doing what he can here to keep Envy players coming off a spawn. No ground. Given now as Karma. Here's the overdrive. Popped as he's just trying to back him up. Make it all the plays as Crimsix. The curse has been broken. A dynasty has been cemented.
Everybody in the league is expecting that Optic is going to be Optic. The people are the people that people get behind. And I'm surrounded by a group of people that also have the same passion for it. And my relationship with the Green Wall is an understanding. People know who you are, you know what you stand for. So that is the power. That relationship is the power. The logo is just a representation of those people. And as long as me and my boys were together, then the fans were going to be there for us. It's as big as it is today because of the work that those dudes put in and the amount of work that those guys have done, the amount of hard work that they put in, what they stand for, and the opportunity came, as I've been saying, like nothing was going to get in the way of that.